G'day fellas and welcome to a casted game of Age of Empires 4. Today we are back on Dry Arabia to witness two Conqueror 3s face off in a ranked battle. I don't know about you, but I'm kind of excited because we've got Faye once again at the helm, and of course if you know anything about Faye, you'll know that she is incredibly powerful when it comes to her strategies. So we'll keep an eye out on exactly what her plans are today. But ladies and gentlemen, let's get into it. Spawning in the south of the map in the color green, playing as the Ottomans today, it is Faye-chan. And in the north of the map, in the color orange, playing as the French, we've got Hanodins. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Dry Arabia. A pleasure to have your company as these two Conqueror 3s face off on the ranked ladder, of course. If you haven't already, make sure you check out this weekend, Saturday and Sunday. EGC TV is hosting an event, and I want to make sure that you are there because I tell you what, we've seen some crazy games from it so far, and undoubtedly we will see plenty more. But look, let's get into it. Let's talk a little bit about what we can expect. So first and foremost, this is a fun matchup for the Ottomans at the very least because you open with a military school, and naturally by opening with a military school, you're going to have more spears out on the map, and the more spears out means the less inclined your opponent is to make cavalry. And what do we know about the French? Well, we know that they love to make cavalry. In fact, they've got a landmark that encourages them to do that, the School of Cavalry, of course. So perhaps we see a bit of a Chamber of Commerce play in here. The trade posts are in a decent position as well, so there's definitely a world where you could potentially see a market thrown down in this corner, and Hanodin's looking to try and defend that entire trade route, so that could be an option for him today. But checking back in with Faye and seeing how she's doing, I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. It's very standard. It's pretty much what you would expect. Another thing to note is that we do, on this new UI, have the ability to have a look at the Vizier system, so we'll be paying a close attention to this throughout the game. Hopefully we get to see some new stuff that is utilized, because pretty much every single game where we're watching the Ottomans, it's like, what's their first pick? It's Anatolian Hills. What's their second point? It's the Imams. What's their third point? It's the Meta. What's the fourth point? It is the military campus. And every single game, it seems to be very standard. So hopefully Faye looks to mix things up here. Maybe we see a little bit of a change. I mean, realistically, what are your options? You could go for like 2 TC into Pax Ottomana. That's definitely an option for you. Janissary Company, it's kind of standard. Advanced Academy is pretty standard as well. We could see trade bags. It's been a while since we've seen the trade bags. The Grand Bombard as well. Siege crews, kind of standard. I guess realistically, extensive fortifications could be an interesting one. We haven't seen that before. Reduces the cost. Actually, no, we have seen that before. And if I remember correctly, it was in a Faye game that we saw it. So reduces the cost of defensive buildings by 20% and equips your garrisoned units with crossbows, increasing damage by +1 and adding +2 bonus against heavy units. So that can actually make quite a lot of sense, especially if you were to combo that. Like, there is definitely a world where you go like Anatolian Hills together with extensive fortifications and into Pax Ottomana, and you just play like a fortification, build up with Twin Minaret Madrasa, second TC, and then go into the Pax Ottomana. I wonder why that hasn't like been explored yet. How come we have yet to see that? Because it kind of makes sense when you think about it, right? Like, you've got more vills, and because you've got more vills, you've got more units that can go into the fortifications, and because you've got more units that can go into the fortifications, that's more damage that you've got. So now you've got +1 damage and +2 against heavy units, so it's less likely that they siege it down. I guess the biggest threat's like battering rams, but even then, I mean, maybe get a little bit of extra, health. Vills train 50% faster, by the way, Pax Ottomana. So that could be an option for us. But anyway, we'll see how it goes. Age up about to come through on the north side for our French player today. What kind of playstyle do we see? It looks like quite a lot of vills here on gold. So I'm suspecting that it's most... Oh, Scout's gone down very early here. I assure you these are Conqueror 3 players, ladies and gentlemen. An uncharacteristic mistake, though. But Hanodins will be looking to try and cause some pain over on that other side of the map, that is for sure. Now, another thing to note is I've gone ahead and fixed up the UI down here in the bottom right-hand corner, so you won't be able to see the buttons that we had listed up before. Professional scouts for the French, so I would say this is pretty standard. I mean, we kind of expected it would be professional scouts for the French, for any of those professional scout civs, I guess realistically like your knight civs, right? Any civ that wants to make knights is typically going to be falling into that professional scout's desire. There's a couple of other exceptions. Chinese, you see Legacy, Holy Roman Empire, Order of the Dragon, those ones. But I think for the most part, though, this is pretty par for the course so far. The only question I've got is, when do we see a second TC? Or do we even see a second TC? More scouts going to be coming out. We've got the knight now beginning to move around towards the front of the base. Now, Hanadins does know about the position of the stone, but unsure on the goal, but can probably make up his mind as to exactly where it is. He'll spot out that stone, and see that there's nothing on there. And loops around the gold vein for the moment, coming around the outside. Now, riding on board with Faye, she's got the deer back here at home. Now, she's done a pretty decent deer push. That was a very far away deer push, and she's managed to push the deer all the way to her TC. So is there a chance that she looks to go into a potential fast castle here? Is that going to be the play? If we look at the resources that she's got, it's a little bit uncertain the direction she's going to be going. Now, scouts are out over on the map over on the west side. But when it comes to professional scouts, the only real hunt that you've got up for grabs is this one back here. So it will be an easy defense. Now, we do start to see stone outcroppings being taken. A lot of vills migrating out to this. So it looks like it's probably going to be a second TC play. You're not going to be moving this many vills out for stone walls at this time. And there's a lot of villages, so there's going to be some urgency there. One vill coming back. Nice little wall up as well. Obviously aware that there is the threat of knights coming in from the north here for Faye. We hear that scout calling out once again, spotting out the villagers on gold. 4 vills on gold for the moment. So, interestingly, still no stone taken. Instead, going to be going into the archery range, 6 minutes and 20. We've got a vizier point coming through. What's it going to be, Faye? It's Anatolian Hills that she takes. So, a little bit of extra food here. She's already got plenty of it under the TC. In fact, she's got so much food under the TC. It is incredible when you think about it. Not only does she have infinitely returning berries that she's able to just gather infinitely. She's also got the deer that she's pushed in, and then she's got the sheep as well. It's just, there's an incredible amount of food here. But I tell you what, I wish I could turn off those scout sounds. You know, we talk about, you know, that mute button that I wish I had down here where I could just go beep, mute, and then just you wouldn't hear any notifications from that unit or building or whatever it was. It'd be lovely to have that for the scouts as well. I guess it can be nice though in some circumstances when you're casting, because it does kind of give you that little tip off, right? Like if you know about it, then they know about it, if that makes sense. But anyway, we'll see exactly how the play looks to go at the moment. Just a lot of upgrades starting to come through. Both players focusing quite a bit on their economies here. Faye now with the resources to drop down that second TC if she so chooses. Now, where does she go? She could actually come out over here on the... Nah, you wouldn't want to. You wouldn't want to. It's too dangerous, man. There's a risk that 3 knights and 3 archers come out here the moment that you put that TC down. So she's going to settle for a little bit of a safer option here. She's got the blacksmith to the top of the TC. So this one should still leave space if she wants to go for the MIA in this position. And we hear that knight, or rather that spearman charge, as the knights make their way through. Now, keep in mind, I'll give you a little bit of a personal life update right here for the Drongo. I am currently standing in the sit-stand desk, and the drink of the day, we're back to it. It's Old Faithful, ladies and gentlemen. It is no banana milk. It is no strawberry milk tonight. It is Red Bull. Oh, yeah, give me a sec. I gotta get my wings. Oh, that's good. Oh, that's good. You know, sometimes they mess up the batches. I didn't mess up that batch, that is for sure. It's interesting. You can really get quite a bit of a difference in taste for it. Anyway, survival techniques now going to be coming through as well for our French player in the north. If we check in with Faye, I want to take a look and see what upgrades she's picked up. And it looks like quite literally nothing at this stage. So she is just pretty much playing it as raw as you can get. Now, spearmen are going to come down, or rather, archers are going to come down towards this base. And there is definitely a nice little defensive pocket that Faye will have here. Question's going to be about where that next vizier point goes, because obviously at the moment she's only gone into Anatolian Hills, not really looking to build up too much of a military base. Oh my, she's not paying attention. Faye's not paying attention. She's lost 2 vills on the gold vein under the TC. Painful stuff right here that we are witnessing. At the same time, this vill might be going down if she's not careful. Hanadin's moving down towards that south position, and fortunately for him, that wall is still open. Will he be able to keep it open, though? That's going to be the question, because whether or not you actually want to get through there is a different story. Now, the numbers continue to build for Hanadin's towards the north side. He's doing a wonderful job bringing back all of the deer. We've got another wall that's starting to come up. Both players, or rather, both sides of the base down here for Faye are looking to get walled up. Now, he doesn't actually know about this deer pack, from what I can see. And because of that, he's somewhat left in the dark about potentially taking the deer. Because normally the way that it works is you take the first pack of your own, and then you can look to try and contest your enemies. That's normally what we see players do, but obviously that's not going to be coming through today. And he has got quite a few scouts out as well, 4 scouts out here, so he could definitely be out here looking to do damage. Not going to be the case for the moment. Instead, now moving down towards the south side. Obviously these walls are starting to really come up, so something that you do need to be cautious of with these walls up, when they are particularly big like this, so when they're going to be far away from the main base, very easy to burn through. So you can't really rely on them as a form of defense, more as just as like a form of delay. Whereas like this is a very good defensive wall because there is an immediate defensive structure that is right next to it. But now starting to work down that wall. Where is Faye going? What is the play here? It looks like Faye may be going to potentially intercept reinforcing troops. Confident that nothing is going to be happening towards the units she's got at home, the villages she's got at home. She looks towards the middle just to see if there's any potential spotting she can do out here. And now beginning to walk through the front of the base. Ville's going to be moving down towards the south. We're right on board with Hanadins, who spots out the villagers. And underneath the town center, the archers now going to be able to pick off these spearmen one by one. Villager manages to get out of there with 5 health left. Town center still firing down on these units. Keep in mind, no crossbow upgrades just yet. No extensive fortifications just yet. But spearmen from behind. Oh, what are you guys doing over here? Going to have an absolute field day as Faye is going to be eaten alive by her French opponent here. Unfortunately, these spears have got no Sipahi to join them in this battle, and as a consequence, they get eaten deliciously for lunch. All right, but more spears now starting to move out for Faye. She's up to 16 spears. Is she doing the spearman challenge again? If she's doing the spearman challenge, why is she getting +1 ranged armor? Explain that one, atheists. That one doesn't make sense. Hold on. So she's got 19 spearmen on the field right now, and she's going for ranged... Or did I say ranged armor? Ranged attack, sorry. She's going for +1 ranged attack. And, I mean, don't get me wrong, spearmen have got a pretty long attack range, but I don't think they're affected by this. Has she even picked up +1? She hasn't even got +1... That's got to be a misclick, right? There's no other way. What did she go for Zir points? Okay. All right. Okay, that's not something that I'd considered until this moment right now. Okay, the +1 ranged attack makes perfect sense. So basically, is she just holding off with spears until she can get to... Is it the Akinji? Is that how it's pronounced? Akinji. Akinji. All right, we're going to go with Akinji. So she's just spamming spears until she gets to Akinji? I'll be honest with you, I haven't seen this unit in action in a long time. I think we got to see it once in a tournament game where Puppy Paw made a whole bunch on 4 lakes, and then we never saw it again. So I don't know if that was just a Puppy Paw thing or whether that was a 4 lakes thing, but we'll at least get to see some of it today. And look, as I said earlier, you know, this is what you get whenever you watch a Fei Chan game. You are going to see something interesting, and that is a matter of fact in these circumstances because we are down. We are definitely going to be receiving something good today. Now, she's got 3 of them in queue. Now, these units cost 80 food, 80 wood. So they're quite expensive, but importantly, they don't cost gold, and that's always nice. Now, does she have any of them out just yet? Geez, they take a while to train, don't they? No, they don't. 20 seconds? Has she just got a lot of them in queue? Okay, numbers looking a little bit scary now. Hold your horses right here. Spears have managed to draw back these archers. Battering rams are out. Faye in a little bit of trouble. We'll say that right now. A little bit of trouble for Faye. First of the Akinji is out. We can see the actual damage it's got. It's got that double burst attack, so keep in mind it'll do quite well against the archers on the back line, as long as they can't actually brute force down these Akinjis. Meanwhile, towards the north side of the map, it looks like she managed to make her way through because the archers for her opponent decided to head back down to that attack that was inevitably going to require them to attend. Meanwhile, that Akinji number continues to build. Spearman number also looking quite healthy here for Faye. We're right on board with her as she's got the spearman looking around the corner up towards the north, potentially rejoining second town center. Could become a sticking point here for her. The archer number is looking quite healthy for Hanadins. Sitting on 19 archers here. Faye trying to work these down one by one, but that town center going to be going down almost certainly here. Ville's on the run. Not enough Akinji. Not enough Akinji to actually hold this attack off. That second town center maybe coming out a little bit too early. Is that the play? Perhaps it is. But she does hold a slight villager lead at the moment. It's definitely not what you want from a second TC, though. Ideally, you'd like a little bit more than that. Spear's going to be able to pick up a couple of freebies down here. And we hear an age up. It's going to be the Istanbul Imperial Palace. Geez, she is really pushing it to the limits, isn't she? Like, you know, when it comes to RTS players, one of the things that we're famous for is just how much we want to greed. And here she is, up against a full all-in the feudal age, going for a second TC, and just really trying to stay alive as much as she can while also going to Castle Age. It is impressive how much she is greeding right now. Whether or not it's going to pay off or not, we will have to wait and see. Spearman numbers towards the front looking pretty solid here. Akinji working down these archers, slowly bringing them down. You can see they've got that ranged armor still coming through. No ranged attack on the side of the French just yet. Meanwhile, those spears, I think they've finally been cleaned up, rather. Age up comes through for Faye. That's going to give her a couple points that she can spend as well. Actually, no, it won't. It'll just increase the amount of points that she gets, or at least the rate that she gets those points in. It will also increase the cap on how many she can have in total. So those are key factors with this landmark. So double the Imperial Council experience around the landmark and increase the Vizier point limit by 3. So all of these buildings now going to be affected, and you can see that's definitely going to matter quite a bit because she is losing out a lot of buildings in this base. Now, looks like the military school probably gonna be going down, unfortunately. Does she look for veterancy here? She does look for veterancy, also looks for +2. So there's definitely a world where she can channel her inner Mongol and really try and play into this cavalry style. Veterancy's now come through, so they're up to 10 damage. Keep in mind that's a ×2. It's a burst attack. That'll also be up to 11 damage shortly. So definitely a world where this defense can occur. We'll say that much. But for the moment, the French numbers still look quite strong. More than double the military units of his opponent, Hanadin's has. Ville's now going to pop out. No textile upgrade just yet. Got to be very cautious about how you play this one. She'll be looking for those archers to make an attack, and then immediately you can see she pops them out. The moment she sees them attack, she immediately pops out those villagers so that they can get a shot off. We hear the Vizier point come through. She could look for something like Janissaries, probably a little bit too unfortunate for that. She's lost out quite a bit here. Doesn't have the military schools to justify it, but doing a decent job of just holding for the moment. Akinji doing okay as well, 4.5 tiles of range here, cleaning up the majority of the cavalry, definitely slicing through that armor. You can see right there quite easily. Ville's got to be careful. They're repairing up, but unfortunately will go down. She's lost 14 Villes now. 8 villager advantage over to the opponent. A little bit of a repair coming in over on that west side as well. We heard the wolf a little bit earlier. Meta going to go down. Meta going to go down. Meta not going to go down. Not today. I'm not going to die, at least not today. What do we got coming through next? Next, it is extensive fortifications. I knew it. I knew it. I could smell it, dude. I could smell it. Oh, you can hear the crossbows firing off, dude. Do you hear that sound? They're not in there anymore. I heard it. Like, it was like... It almost sounds like the... It almost sounds like the... Excuse me. You know the French Red Palace? When they get the bonus? No, it probably doesn't sound like that. It just sounded like a crossbow, I think. Ignore me. Excuse me. I'm sorry. What have I got myself into here? Anyway. Give me a sec. I'm going to have to take a second swig here. That's clearly what I'm missing. We'll check in with this army and see how it's doing. Do we have an age up potentially coming through? Not quite. Quite a bit of gold in the bank, so definitely room to improve, if you get what I mean. Like, room to make improvements? Because, like, gold improvements cost gold. There you go. Easy. That is good. That is good. Lovely little wall comes through for Faye now. Only opening towards the front of the base. And now, oh yeah, this is where it gets fun. Faye heads out onto the map and says, hey, I've got some fast units that also do quite a bit of DPS here. 1.62 movement speed. They got the meta with them as well. Is it time for a potential raid? And Faye says no. We got to try and defend. We got to defend again. We're going to get attacked over from the west side now. We were attacked from the east. Now we're going to get attacked from the west. I think there's definitely a world where like 2 TC fortifications together with that Vizier point can really work. The Pax Ottomana. You'd have to be making a lot of vills though. We'll say that much. Okay, decent little defense. Akinji towards the north. Cutting off reinforcements. Also going to be pulling these units out. Keep in mind, no Castle Age through just yet for our French player. Still quite a bit of resources in the bank. We'll switch it over to income per minute. Get a bit of an idea on where these two stand. Villager advantage currently sits with the French. Faye sitting at about, how much are we talking? 1,100, 1,400. We'll call it 2.1k. I think that's a reasonable number. Meanwhile, our French player, 2.1k for Faye. And we're sitting at about 1.3. 1.8, about 2.1 as well. So not too bad. Keep in mind the difference is also going to be in military schools because while Faye doesn't have any, she definitely can get some, and they are not going to be counted on your UI. Meanwhile, walls coming up towards the center of the map, interestingly. Meta's going to do its best to run, little Meta. Unfortunately, not a lot of health left on that bad boy. And so it means, oh, beautiful micro comes through. Meta moves to the front of the pack and stays alive. Look how fast it is as well. 1.88 movement speed. Beautiful micro there by Faye. Does lose the Akinji, unfortunately, but, you know, it definitely picks up a meta, which is definitely what you want. Runs into another double outpost right now. A lot of double outposts coming up on this map. not something that you typically see a lot of, so quite a bit of defense coming through now from our French player. Castle Age is on the way. Second TC also going to get dropped in. A very late age up for a guild hall, a 20-minute guild hall. Not something I necessarily agree with, but maybe they're looking at doing the fast Imperial timing, but have a look. Oh, did she find it? Did she see it? She saw it. She's going to try. How many vills can you pick off here, Faye? Let's see. Let's count them. She's not going to even go for the vills. She's just going to go for the knights. Disappointing. Disappointing. Come on, Faye. Turn it around. You can see she's having a bit of a tough time, though. They're keeping up with her. She's able to take out the scouts now as well. And meanwhile, towards the front, a couple of archers going to get cleaned up here. Men-at-arms as well. But yes, you can see that the DPS is actually pretty decent from these. They got really good DPS, actually. Next Vizier point about to come through. Don't be afraid if you hear the sound. And now keep in mind those extensive fortifications are through for Faye. So it means that these outposts, in the event that they are garrisoned, will have that crossbow emplacement instead of the... Well, not emplacement, crossbow weapon instead of your typical archer weapon. So it works out to be like an extra 3 damage against knights, which is actually quite substantial. But in the end, it looks like our Royal Knights will be victorious in the north of the map. Imperial Age. Oh, wow. Okay, she's so greedy, dude. Is it just me, or is she incredibly greedy? Like, I don't know how she gets away with it. She went 2 TC into the fast castle. Well, it wasn't really a fast castle, but, you know, into the Castle Age while you're being rammed. And then at the same time... Now, like, she thinks she's done enough distraction that she can get away with this. Okay. All right. Respect. Let's see what she can do. Let's see what she can do. She's pushing it to the limit constantly. And keep in mind, she's playing against Conqueror 3 players. So these people know what they are doing. And yet she tries to get away with it every single time. And every single time it seems like we see her, she's getting away with it. So I'm going to say it right now. She can't keep getting away with it. Anyway, age up has obviously come through for our French player. Upgrades are on the way. We've got the veterancy for the knights, veterancy for the archers, +2 ranged armor, and of course, fertilization has come through as well. Next Vizier point, has it already been clicked? I suspect it has. No, it hasn't, and we've gone into the military school, or military campus, rather. So that's going to be another military school that we can put down. So up to a total of 4, I think, in this age right now. That'll be 5 that we can now put down for Faye. So she'll be a happy little camper right here with lots of military schools. And then from here, I mean, realistically, where else do you go on the Vizier point system, right? You could probably come down to any one of these is quite good. I think you have a base of 5, so she's got 8 that she can choose from. So she's only taken 4 so far, but definitely with the landmark she took in Castle, the Imperial Council, she's got quite a bit of flexibility here in how she looks to play out this game. Siege crews definitely make a lot of sense though in this matchup as well, because playing up against the French, you're going to see a lot of Arbitria out. All right, what have we got through? We got shaft mining on the way as well for the French. Elite men-at-arms, of all things, going to be coming in now for Faye. 22 minutes into this game. Arch number looking pretty solid. Vill's trying to get up on this large stone outcropping. It's going to be cancelled. She doesn't like her chances. Vill's going to get caught out. She's lost 22 already this game. Keep in mind, if she had those 22 villagers, she would be on par with our French player right now. But the fact that she does not means she is in a bit of a tough spot, because that second TC is down. And that means that we've got essentially very solid scaling from the French. It means that if this game goes late, the French is going to be in a much better position than she will be. The one caveat to that will be if they have like this stagnation period where neither of them fight, and Faye's able to take a fight where she's got a much higher amount of military population. Like, let's say she had 120 military pop against somebody who only had 70 military pop, then that's an example of a time where it can actually work for you. For that to happen, it significantly requires a misplay by the French player. And obviously, he's Conqueror 3. It's unlikely for that to happen, but it is still on the cards. We'll say that much. I think ideally in Faye's circumstances, she's gone imp, so it's definitely not over till the fat lady sings, and not that that's Faye by any circumstances, but it's not, you guys get what I mean. I guess the point that I'm trying to make is military schools are kind of good. I have played games where I've gone fast in with military school spam. I've gone down to like 3 villages, and I've still won the game just because I've had military schools spamming units. And keep in mind, they're making elite men-at-arms right now, which are some of the best units in the game once you get to this stage. Of course, the French have obviously got the correct counter, being the Royal Knight that's out. Arbitria also going to start coming out as well, but we'll keep an eye on the Akinji. They've been upgraded to elite now as well. Quite a bit of damage they've got. No incendiary arrows just yet. Gambeson's going to be coming through for our French player, and silk bowstrings coming through for Faye. So she's really looking to diversify with regard to her upgrades. Also getting +3 range attack, +3 ranged armor coming through. Spearman going to get caught out. Doesn't want to keep it. How many? I'm assuming that was the last spearman. I suspect it probably was, yes. That was the last spearman. There probably won't be many more spearmen this game, I suspect. Maybe if there's full knight coming out from Hanadins. But for the most part, it's probably just going to be military school producing men-at-arms, and she's making Akinji. I think that's what it is. Let's double check. Nope, military schools are making Akinji, and she's making men-at-arms. There we go. All right, we had it mixed up, but we'll get it next time. We'll get it next time. So, yeah, I think at this point, you still probably want to get that second TC up as Faye. I think you still really want to. But if you can kill villagers, you don't have to as much. But that's, you know, ideally you try and do both. Archers and Arbaletier now. Gonna get caught out in the middle. Men-at-arm number looking pretty healthy here. Now keep in mind our French player yet to hit Imperial Age. So Faye's definitely got the advantage here when it comes to unit statistics. +3 range attacks coming through. So that's 15x2 that is going to be hitting all of these units. These Royal Knights are going to be absolutely melting, I tell you what. So definitely want to be careful on the side of the French. We'll say that much. She's now going to look to try and fire down. You can see just how quickly, oh my lord, she one-shot. She absolutely one-shot that knight. Now, Men-at-Arms going to be running in. Plenty of knights coming through as well from the back line. And Faye holding on in this game. The Men-at-Arms number continues to fall. Arbaletier working with those knights, and she's going to need to kite. She's going to need to pull this one out. It's the unique Ottoman range cavalry unit. The meta's on standby. He's going to pull himself back. Say, see you guys later. Now the Akinji going to work its magic, going to work its macro, micro, all that good stuff. But unfortunately, today, it is not going to be the case. The numbers overwhelm on the side of the French. You're going to be cautious about losing those metas. Those metas are incredibly important. Extra attack speed, extra armor, all that good stuff that they potentially offer you. And quite a bit of a villager migration occurring now. Has Faye dropped that second TC just yet? Doesn't look like it, unfortunately. We do have a bit of a weird outpost coming up, though, from Hanadins. Have a look at this. Very forward. It's for the boar as well, out of all things. Outposts haven't been upgraded, except for this one. It hasn't been upgraded. It's just showing the weapon on there because there's vills that were inside. But now the Akinji. Now the Akinji. Have they decided on where they're going to go? Still yet to do it. Interestingly, we haven't seen Faye really try and make use of them just yet. Even like peeling off 2 or 3 of them and just sending them on a route around the backside. Like there's no sprinkled emplacements that are through here, right? Like there is, these outposts exist purely for garrisoning. Okay, there's a single sprinkled emplacement back here. But incendiary arrows, gosh, try saying that one fast 6 times. Incendiary arrows. You can kind of say it. Nice micro, nice kiting. Let's see that line formation come through. She's actually looking to try and focus down these knights one by one. She doesn't need to at this point. Oh, she's dropped the meta. Oh, big mistake there from Faye. She's going to be losing quite a bit of attack speed right there, unfortunately. But you can see just how quickly she's able to take these out. And it looks like it might be a bit of a field day here. We could have big trouble in Paradise in the north of the map. And you can see the Akinji now moving into position. He's trying to rush up this outpost. More vills are migrating out here. Unfortunately, just going to migrate to their death, as she's now taken out 9 villagers in this engagement, which is shortly going to be another 9 villagers. And quickly, these vills are getting taken out. Exactly what she needed in this game. And now that second TC, not as important as it once was. She's not paying attention here. Her attention is elsewhere, securing the large gold vein in the south, maybe sieging down the buildings in the east. In the end, it looks like 1 vill will not get away. Every single one will be slaughtered. 24 to 18, 20, 30 villager gap between the two at the moment. But she's going to come in close to that main town center. Main town center going to be able to hold it off for the moment. And immediately underneath, there's quite a lot of villagers out here. Conqueror 3, I swear. I swear, Conqueror 3. I think he forgot that he was playing the French and thought he was playing the Knights Templar. So just never built the lumber camp. He's got that whole, what is it called? Environment preservation? I think that's what they call it. It's their bonus, where they don't have to build lumber camps because they want their environment to look cool. There you go. More Akinji now towards the south. These units, these are kind of wild, right? Because it reminds me a lot of the Mongols and the power. Like, it's not as oppressive as the Mongols, but it is definitely as impressive as the Mongols. We'll say that much right now. She's done a good job to bring this back. 23 vills now taken out. Red Palace going to get thrown down in the middle of the map. Definitely a nice little spot here. How many vills on this one? 16. Gotta be careful. Akinji in the area. Scout spots it out. Easily able to take this out. And now from the side of Hanadins, he sees nothing. Unfortunately, except for Death. Green Death now coming out, able to take this out. Numbers still looking pretty good. Expect to see some men-at-arms probably giving a little bit of backup here, or she's just going to stay out of it. I think she might just stay out of it. She got any more up towards the north? A couple men-at-arms. She's got 15 on the field at the moment. Spearmen now starting to come out as well. But the infantry number is looking quite good here for the French. This is a scary amount of ranged infantry. I'll say that much. We've got archers, arbaletiers, and Faye's got a dream. We'll say that. That is for sure. She's going to try once again. See if she can pick something off from the south. Keep in mind, these units will never be stronger than what they are right now. Maybe with the exception of, like, biology coming through. So every little bit that she can fight is exactly what she wants to do. And obviously, you don't want to fight around the Red Palace. So I'd be doing everything I can to stay away from that damn annoying landmark. Powerful, scary landmark. Men-at-arms towards the north. Going to start working their magic for relics in favor of the French. I don't even think we've talked about relics yet. Faye hasn't even thought about relics yet. It is a 4-1 advantage, though technically a 4-0 advantage in this game. We've got Tithe Barns on the way coming through. Whole bunch of sprinkled emplacements also now starting to come through for our French player. But I'm going to be honest with you. I think you probably want to start moving into walls. Even palisade walls are fine at this point in the game, just because you're largely dealing with Akinji, which are going to be those ranged units. So not as effective against walls. Obviously, they will still get through them, but you don't need to worry nearly as much about them. Meanwhile, Akinji on the south side are going to be able to keep alive a little bit longer. Triple Treb going to try their best to take it out. Probably going to be losing itself. Oh, great Bombard emplacements online. How are you going to act now? The great Bombard emplacement. Let's see it. Oh my God, that was like 6 units. Wow, the great Bombard placement does not matter. Dude, why is Hanadin's going to take this fight? Let me see it. Let me see it. Oh! What was that? Are you serious? Are you serious right now? Dude, no. Oh my Lord. Somebody call an ambulance. But not for me. Wow. Oh my Lord. That was ridiculous. That was like 80 ranged units. These are Conqueror 3 players, I assure you. I assure you they're Conqueror 3. What you may be witnessing a massacre, but I assure you it's a massacre of consenting parties and a Conqueror 3 battle on the ranked ladder. Wow. I can't believe what we've just witnessed. I have never seen a more disgusting demonstration of the power of the Great Bombard emplacement. I'm not calling for nerfs. I'm not calling to have it change, but I am calling upon the Hague to investigate Faye for war crimes after that. Jeez Louise. That was probably the... I think that was the highest value Great Bombard emplacement I've ever seen. I can't believe Hanadin's manned up into that. Normally, like, you see a Great Bombard emplacement and you look the other way, you walk the other way, everything points the other way, except the soles of your feet. It is so damn scary. And I think we have just witnessed exactly why that is. That was incredible. I mean, you think of raw power, right? Often you think of, like, the Red Palace. Yeah, sure, but can the Red Palace do that? Nope. Not even Boiling Oil can do that. Boiling Oil is going to take turns, you know, slowly working it down. 20 damage here, 30 damage here. That was just like, hey, congratulations, you're all dead. Trying to find a way through to the trebuchets now. Fei-Chan attacking from the south side. Numbers looking a little bit better for her. She's within 15 villager count. Has still yet to pick up this relic in the south. I think she's playing the no relic challenge. We've all played that challenge before whenever we're playing against the Holy Roman Empire. It's the same sort of thing. She's just role playing it a little bit here. First treb goes down. Second treb gonna go down. Third treb not even gonna be close. That's it. All right, so she's bought herself a bit of time. Oh, great Bombard emplacement coming out. A little bit far forward there, my great Bombard friend. Oh, get it, get there. Oh, my Lord. It's a bit scary watching those Bombards when they walk out like that. Now Bombard gonna focus on the enemy infrastructure. Looking to take it out. Spears together with the Akinji. Moving forward, the men-at-arms gonna be able to brace for impact as those elite Royal Knights try to defend after that absolute schmozzle that we just witnessed. I can't believe it, man. That was incredible. Now, we do have Royal Bloodlines that's come through. I think we've already seen Gambesons on the way as well. So all the big upgrades are through right now for the French. Actually, I take it back. Crossbow stirrups are still coming through. Faye's got him on the ropes, though. I think Faye can just win at this point. Look at the military difference between them. How does Faye lose this? I mean, as long as she continues to rally reinforcements towards this position, and as long as she keeps reinforcements in queue, she should be okay. Because she's sitting at 154, 132 for her opponent. Great Bombard's working down the keep. You want to protect the Great Bombard as well, but you can just kind of pseudo do that by having units nearby. And you can see now the keep is going to start being repaired. Sacred sites were being turned. Akinji towards the north. She's taken out 48 vills. We've lost quite a bit of vills in the last couple of minutes. Faye as well. She's lost about 15 or so. But for the most part now, defense is going to be quite decent from Hanadin's here. We need to see a little bit more consolidation of the army from Faye. On Faye's side, I'd love to see another Great Bombard. Wait, did she utilize her Great Bombard? She did too. Ooh, okay, all right, I'll take that. She's also got trade bags in as well. She could be looking to set up trade. Has she considered the prospect of trade? Definitely she has. I mean, if she's clicked trade bags, she must have. So Great Bombard's out. I'd love to see another 1 or 2 Great Bombards on the field. I'd love to see another keep come down right about now. I mean, you got to be careful with where you position it, right? Like, you don't want to go too close to the Red Palace. Mangonel going to come out as well. Have we got the upgrade? No upgrade, no adjustable crossbars just yet. But you can see all the Akinji now going to come through, trying to focus it down. Not going to be able to find it. Range of 5.25, which isn't too bad. Why are they going so slow? The Men-at-Arms is in the control group. That's why it's going so slow. Terrible, terrible. You hate to see a Great Bombard definitely going to be going down here. I can't see how this bad boy gets out of here alive. Well, hold on. Hold your horses. Hold your horses. It looks like she somehow managed to build a defense. No, the Great Bombards decide to turn around and head straight back in. Takes out the Mangonel. Was it really worth trading a Great Bombard for a Mangonel, Faye? I don't think it was. I think you could have gotten away there easily if you wanted to, especially with the amount of reinforcements you got coming in. So she's just thrown that away. Very unfortunate there. It's like, I think the situation just went from really, really good for Faye to, like, not that good. Not that good. Things just got objectively worse. We'll say that much. Men-at-Arms doing their work over here. Just keep in mind, these are low damage units, so you just rally a couple more knights out here and you're going to be fine. So this isn't a huge issue for Hanadin's at the moment. How's that Guildhall doing? Let's have a look and see. It looks like he's just pulled out some food by the looks of it, probably in the last minute or two, so apologies for not seeing that sooner. But for the most part now, I think Hanadin's is absolutely fine on the defense. I think he'll be A-okay for the rest of this game. And speaking of A-okay right now, if you're enjoying this Age of Empires 4 content, make sure you go down and hit that like button. We're 37 minutes through this game, and I tell you what, I'm liking where this is going so far, and I suspect if you're still here after 37 minutes, you're probably enjoying it as well. So go on. I'll wait for you. Thank you. All right, let's get back to it. I got myself a little bit of Red Bull. I'm going to take a swig. I'm gonna take a sip. Let's go with that. English I'm familiar with. Give me a second here. Incredible. Incredible. Absolute cinema. Cupellation on the way. Coming through for Hanadin's. Does he have a lot more gold out here? Does Cupellation really matter at this point? You got 2k, you got... Cupellation's kind of useless here, I'm not gonna lie. Cupellation is great. Like, you look what it does, okay? Gold gatherers drop off 15% more resources. So if you extrapolate that out and say, okay, I gather 1,000 resources, I get an extra 150. Well, how much am I spending on this? I'm spending an extra 500. So I need to have at least 3k gold that I can gather. And it's like, no, you don't even have 3k gold that you can gather. Technically, you've also got stone. But yeah, you guys get the idea. At least there's no other gold that I can see. We're at 38 minutes into this map, so we're definitely getting towards the late game stage of this game. Now the question's going to be more about trade. Who can get their trade up online? Who can protect their trade? Knights are already through to the other side. Now this is all... I was going to say this is all walled up, but it doesn't look like it is. How is this oversight occurring? How do you not see that? Double Great Bombard. So I think the most important thing here for Faye is that she can't let the French player get to 200. Because what's going to happen now is the French player is going to start putting down a lot more stables. So Faye needs to try and... this push that she's doing is definitely the right call. She needs to keep everybody together, everybody nice and close like this. And she needs to really try and push this agenda as soon as she can. She needs to make sure that she's got everything in queue. So she wants to have even more spearmen in queue. I'd be sitting on like 20, 30 spearmen right now. Not that I have the resources for it, but you guys get the idea. You need to have a lot of spearmen here. Because the biggest problem that you're going to have is a whole knight charge is going to come out and just eviscerate you. And you're just going to lose the game straight away. So you need to have like a backup plan. And stone walls would be a very nice backup plan. We also have elite army tactics, very late elite army tactics coming through here. Beginning to move forward. We need to make sure that we're enforcing this position. Really well played here by Hanadins as well. Quite patient. Now going to be charging in for these great bombards. They stand here all by themselves, almost as bait. Faye just chilling out on the back line. All the bombards going to go down. That's 1, that's 2, that's 3. All gone down. And now Hanadins just falls back and says, I don't even need to fight you. Hanadins, you don't need to fight here, but he's got to take the fight. Pavi's shield dropped. Whole bunch of ranged armor now coming through, +8 ranged armor. And we are going to ride on board with the cinematic mode and watch as all of these Akinji go up against the BRRRRRRRRR Royal Knights, holding on for dear life in this game. You hear those reinforcements as they inevitably pop out. There they are now. You can see just how much has been eaten up in this game. Unfortunately, those 3 bombards going down so quickly at the beginning of this fight has meant that Faye's in a little bit of a lull when it comes to her unit count or unit pop. 182 versus 200. So ideally, she'd still have all 3 of those great bombards, and ideally they would have been firing at the BRRRRRRRR this whole fight. And ideally, they would have killed all these BRRRRRRRRR during that fight. So it's those little details where it's like Faye has had a couple of unfortunate ball drops, and because of that, it's just all spiraled out of control. I'm not going to say it's spiraled out of control, because she's still definitely in contention for this game. But you can really appreciate just how difficult it is from her position here, now that the knights are coming out. So we've got 36 knights on the field at the moment, plenty more in queue, and I suspect it's just once the trade gets up as well, it's going to be knights all day. There is going to be so many knights on this field that you're not going to know whether it's day or whether it's night. Oh, that was a good one. That was a good one. That was a good one, Drongo. Well done. I'm impressed with myself that I thought of that one so quickly. All right, nice little attempt underneath the Red Palace. Doesn't look like she's going to be able to find it. Reinforcements continue to build. How's she doing on siege? No more siege come through just yet. Horsemen going to be a potential option here for the French as well. Obviously moving towards the late game. You don't have a whole... Oh, traders getting taken down. Now keep in mind, these are trade bag traders, so these are quite important, but ideally we want to get this wall connected ASAP. Ville's finally up here Ville's finally up here repairing. But yeah, the most important component of this is definitely going to be making sure that this stone wall gets completed. And it finally does. Really, really nicely done. We want another one coming across the front here like this and just securing up this position completely. This is going to be a problem, though. Behind the defenses are these rampaging, marauding French Royal Knights. And you can see just how much those villagers are just going to get out and dodge. They're so fearful that any brief second, any lapse in attention is going to result in the death of dozens. Fortunately, the spears catch up. Hanadin's not paying attention, at least for a couple of seconds, while some decent damage is done. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, the only thing he's got to worry about are wolves. Stone wall starting to come up over the rest of this base. I feel like you probably should have stonewalled here first instead of there, just because this is already on lockdown from the keep to an extent. I mean, yeah, no, it is. It's got the Great Bombard. Ain't nothing getting through there. But behind the scenes, it's now going to be a game of trade. Both players going to be working to get all of their trade online. Horsemen now going to be coming out looking to try and hit these Akinji. Horsemen, she can just turn around and just destroy them. I don't know why she's not. There we go. That's exactly what we needed. And you can see just how much damage she does to those horsemen. One-shotting about 2 of them at a time. Sacred Site still being somewhat contested. You can see the length of range on that Red Palace is somewhat incredible. It's almost hitting the entirety of this Sacred Site. 200 out of 200 for Faye. Hanadin's at 171 at the moment. Now, once again, underneath that Red Palace. Not as scary as the Great Bombard emplacement, I'll say that much, but more reinforcements coming over from the east side. She looks like she might try and commit. There's no siege on the field for her at the moment, but she's going to try and hold it down in the center. Look to end this game right here, right now. Trebs go down. And with that, the threat to the walls is gone. She's now going to look to try and turn her focus towards the next best thing. It's going to be the Red Palace, and she's focusing it down with all the Akinji. Together with the spears, they've worked down. What is that? BRRRRRRRR. Did you see that? Tanking like 46 spearmen right there. Get the Akinji on that and get the Spearman on the siege. That's the way that it should go. But, I mean, she's doing... This is a cardinal sin right here. You are attacking underneath the Red Palace without any siege. This is a cardinal sin when it comes to Age of Empires 4. If you're only picking up this game recently, do not make this mistake that a Conqueror 3 player is currently making right now, because even while you might get this landmark down, in the end, your opponent is getting so much time, so many resources by taking out all these units. Have a look at, from Hanadin's perspective, exactly how many units are getting taken out here. Let's select these. 25 and 8, 1. 25 and 7, 1. 25, 5, 1. 24 and 4, 1. It's so damn quick, and now the horsemen finally come to the rescue. Apologies, I was too busy looking at the UI. I didn't even realize there was cavalry on the screen. Great Bombard comes in, finishes it off, but the position is already quite favorable now for our French player. He's had plenty of time bought for himself because of that Red Palace. That Red Palace, while it might have gone down in the end, it was so valuable in the time that it bought, in the defense that it gave, in the units that it took out in its demise. How are we doing behind the scenes? Still no stone walls in this large connecting part, and that's really key here. We want to try and get those stone walls up. You want to make sure that the integrity of that trade route is guaranteed. And I think for Faye as well, like, she should know that her opponent is trading at this point, right? Like, we're 45 minutes into this game. There's no way you're getting resources for free anywhere else. It's got to be that. So I would be tempted right now. Move off a couple of Akinji. See what you can do around the edges of the map. See if you can get up over on the edge here. It only takes 2 or 3 to really upset the opponent. And indeed, 2 or 3 could 100% get past here, make their way over here, and just really be quite annoying. And that could be very painful to deal with. But we're right on board with Hanadin. He's up about 2k score at the moment, sitting on 34 knights, 17 arbaletiers, quite a bit of gold cost, gold heavy units. He's still sitting at 1.9k gold per minute. 30 traders at the moment for him, 33 traders for him at the moment. Very, very nice. How many is Faye on if we take a look and see? She's on 13. So needs to add in a couple more markets I would be advocating for. She's at 121 vils, which is not bad at all, but you want a larger portion of traders. I think that's it. Like, you would arguably delete vils to have more traders at this point. And that's part of the reason why throwing down like 5 or 6 markets can be really good, because then it means that those markets are competing with the barracks, and instead of competing with, like, so let's say 10 units die, you'll get 10 men-at-arms that pop out. But if you've got 6 markets, it'll be 5 men-at-arms and 5 traders that pop out. And that's what you want, right? Like, you want to build up that trade number as quickly as you can. Once again, Faye moving a little bit too far forward with the Great Bombards. A little bit of a surround potentially coming in. You can see the number of angles that he's got right here. Hanadin looking to try and come through. Ooh, a lot of knights on the flanks. Oh, he's doing it. Oh, baby, it's the triple from the west, from the north, from the east. No, nothing from the south, just the reinforcements for Faye, undoubtedly. But the knights make that connection through onto this army. Arbaletier pop the Purvis shield. Horsemen, as they come through on the backside. She's finally been covered to the south as well. And a crushing defeat here in the center of the map as the knights manage to overwhelm the Ottoman Empire. Ladies and gentlemen, an incredible performance here today by our French player. Somehow finding a way back into it. And I gotta say, I feel like the Red Palace was definitely responsible for quite a bit of it. Meanwhile, more units are going to continue to rally out from behind these stone walls. We're right on board with Hanadin's here, as he can see the stone walls coming up and knows how important it is to make sure they do not get up. If they get up, he's got no way into the base. No way to guarantee for Faye that she'll be safe. I think just a stone wall across here would have been all she needed. I don't know why she went to this extent. There's a little run through that right here you might potentially have. But you can see even the spears, everything is trying to block this choke point here. But unfortunately, all the units, there's so many units that are crammed in here. And Faye on the defense. He's holding on for dear life. Population capacity, get off my screen. I don't care about you. Just, you know what? Have one of these. Give me one of those. Purvis shields get dropped on the back. He ain't leaving this point. More and more knights continue to rally through. They're trying to get through. Charge through the arbaletier into the front line. Spears now continue to rally up the rear. Akinji being kited backwards. A number of men are back here as well. One of them going to go down. Second one still standing strong. And now into the trade line. This is where it gets really hard, because once the trade is interrupted, that's when it all goes downhill. You're going to be losing out on that gold that's coming through. And just remember, these are trade bags that we've got that are coming through here as well. So they're very expensive amounts of resources that we've got. So that's, what was it, 111? Somewhere in that region, 111 gold. So quite a bit. We'll ride back on board with Faye now and see how she's doing. She's about 3k, almost 4k score down in this game. So it gets worse before it gets better, it seems, for Faye. Chemistry going to be coming through for Hanadin's. instead moving into the cannon. Says, you know what? We need to deal with these walls, and we need to deal with these walls now. And that is going to be with the cannon. 1 cannon out. 3 in queue. We'll ride on board with Hanadins and see how he's doing, but you can see the tempo is definitely in his favor. He's set up trade. He's in a miraculous position here. 35 traders on the field, 2.3k gold per minute. He is a comfy guy right now. He is very comfy. He's moisturized. He's in his lane. He is comfy. We'll check in with Faye. See how she's doing. 184 population at the moment. She's trying to get a great bombard online. Over on that east side, we can hear the cannon working its magic over here. A second set of walls going to be put down. Akinji together with the spearman going to try and do a little bit of a distraction. Going to go for the enemy trade route. She knows. She finally knows. Hold on. Where are you getting all this gold from? It's got to be that you're trading, right? But unfortunately, 50 minutes into this game is a little bit too late. I think JoJo said it best herself in 2004. You know it's just too little too late. Abbasid going to look to try and get behind enemy lines into the trade route. You can see not a whole lot of vision back here. Meanwhile, the Knights cleaning up for the moment. Even if these ones don't, reinforcements absolutely will. We can see them making their way. Another keep going to be coming up behind the backside. Abbasid. Great Bombard is here to save the day. Save me, Great Bombard. You're my only hope. And now Faye on the defense once again. But look how many traders she's lost. We're down to 124. I say we're down to 124. She's got more eco population than her opponent. And finally, behind the scenes, we can see Akinji going to be working their magic. Okay, Faye, we're going to need big numbers here today. What can you do for us? Keep in mind that we've got 1, 2, 3 markets, which means that for every one you kill, another 3 pop up, just like the Hydra. But all sacred sites now taken, all held. Towards that east side, Vil's going to be taken out as well, but in the end, it doesn't matter. What matters is they have held the line. That is what matters the most. And beautiful micro here from Faye. Managed to bring all the Akinji into the back pocket. The Knights have got nowhere they can go, and it's going to mean the Akinji actually stay alive for a little bit longer. And if they can be brought out from this position, then they're going to be able to undoubtedly do quite a bit of damage towards that French economy. Cannon's going to be rolling off the blocks here. Hanadins looking pretty solid in this game. Mangonel going to be the only one focusing down these walls. You can see it's going to take some time, though. Plenty of infantry together with the Akinji in the middle of the map. Now going to be forcing back this cannon. Meanwhile, more Knights now getting rallied over towards that west side. A beautiful game coming out today, ladies and gentlemen. 52 minutes into this game. What are we witnessing here? We are witnessing greatness. That is for sure. And once again, the Knights going to get cleaned up. How many Knights do you need to actually send to get over here? Looked like a little bit of gold getting purchased there. Probably just the traders depositing. Now the Great Bombard under threat, but you can see just how many Knights are on this field. 30 Knights. They just all got eliminated, all got obliterated, and now they're back to square one. 52 minutes into the game. Faye once again defending this same route. How did these Knights even get here? Oh, there's a little bit of a hole that's opened up over towards the east side, a flanking opportunity. And now that'll mean that Hanadins can get down that east side of the base. Meanwhile, over towards the west, Faye is working her magic, trying to take down any single trader she can. And you can see not only is she farming up the traders that are coming in, she's farming up the traders that are being respawned. Oh, she's having a field day in here. Are there any units that are even aware of this right now? Hanadin's just losing his entire economy. Faye doing her best to just obliterate everything. He's down to 29 traders. She is taking names now. And Faye on the defense once again through this tiny little pocket. She's got this second opening she's going to have to deal with. Vil's going to work their magic over here. No keep on this front line. Unfortunately, the numbers continuing to improve. The cannon's opening up. His shield's going to go down. A whole bunch of units just went down over here. Meanwhile, over towards the west, we're still cleaning up. Down to 24 active traders now, apparently. Every single one that comes in is just going to get taken out immediately. A keep now. A single saving keep may keep this position alive here for Hanadins. What a game we are seeing. This is such an atrocious game. It's like an atrocious game, but with a bit more attrition. A little bit less. I don't know. You guys get where I'm coming from, though. What a game, man. This is incredible. Faye putting on a show for us once again. I mean, she never really doesn't, does she? Like, every Faye game is just a certified banger. Absolute certified banger. But I think this might be the end of this little raid over here towards the west. You can see that now that last Akinji is there, but fortunately the keep isn't able to actually take it out. So there is definitely one hero Akinji. This is where I'd love to see the kill count. Like, could you imagine right now saying, like, kills 46 on this Akinji. Oh my god, Akinji. Have I been saying Akinji this entire time? It's pronounced Akinji. It's a Turkish word. You guys, the Turks will understand. Sorry, Turks. I know all the Turks are going to be so mad at me. Look at the number on this Akinji. Sorry, Akinji. It doesn't sound right if it's Akinji. It's better than Cav Archer. What do we have? Cavalry Archer, Horse Archer, and then they gave us Cav Archer? Like, no. Cannons, Royal Cannons. Have a look at the number of cannons that are in here right now. Able to take out that back line, getting obliterated completely, and I think this is game. I don't think there's any way she comes back from this. The numbers are just way too high inside the base, and now you can just go for landmarks. You can just go sniping, and that's exactly what Hanadins does. Ladies and gentlemen, that is it. After what, 54, 55 minutes? It is finally over. Faye taps out in a beautiful France versus Ottoman matchup. Ladies and gentlemen, go check her out. The link is in the description of where you can watch her live. She put on an incredible performance today, but unfortunately, in the end, Hanadins was able to overcome.